Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks, and it is time to start the vlog where you pick what I read. So good morning, I'm going to say good morning. It's a Monday morning and it is time to start this vlog where you voted. You voted between two books. Well, I can make it sound like it was going to be like 100 books, but it was just two, friends. A very small number. But you had the choice between this sort of modern, fresh Persuasion by Jane Austen, or you had Boy Putts by Eliza Clark. Now, it was quite sort of a close vote in the sense that one took a clear winner, then one came back, but then one has just peaked, one has just tipped over the edge and has won. I'm going to do this and have an element of fun and surprise, but you know who won already because you have seen the thumbnail. It was this girlie. It was the Jane Austen girlies. Centuries later, they are still loving Jane Austen. And now, I have to read Persuasion by Jane Austen. So, you sort of made me read a classic last month, which I read a book that I cannot remember what it was called. It's my sister's name. What's that? Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. You made me read that, and now you make me read Persuasion. Friends. I thought we were friends. What are you trying to do to me? No, Jack, don't be naughty. I'm going to go in with an open mind. An open mind, open heart. But let's see what it's about, shall we? Anne Elliot is no longer young and has few romantic prospects. I mean, I get it, girl. Me and Anne, we're going to get along. 8 years earlier, she was persuaded by others to break off her engagement to poor, handsome naval captain Frederick Wentworth. What happens when they meet again is movingly told in Jane Austen's last completed novel. Set in the fashionable societies of Lyme Regis and Bath, Persuasion is a brilliant satire of vanity and pretension, but above all, it is a mature, tender love story tinged with the heartache of missed opportunities. I mean, sounds like a hoot, right? But no, Jack, stop being nasty. Let's start it together. It's quite a short novel. I'm quite surprised, but the writing is tiny. So let's start it together and we'll see, shall we? Instruction. I'm not reading the instruction. Well, the instruction's still going. Well, the long, further reading novels of Jane Austen. Well, we're this far in, and I'm only just started the novel. Sir Walter Elliot of Clinic Hall in Somersetshire was a man of... Jane. Oh, we're not going to get along. I can even read the first line. She better not be this wordy throughout. Let's try again. Sir Walter Elliot of Killinlock Hall in Somersetshire was a man who, for his own amusement, never took up any book but the baronetage. I'm going to hate it. Let's try again. Let's just try again. Come on, calm, zen. Sir Walter Elliot of Killinlock Hall in Somersetshire was a man for who... Oh, I got it wrong again. Sir Walter Elliot of Clinic Hall in Somersetshire was a man who, for his own amusement, never took up any book but the baronetage. There he found occupation for an idle hour, and consolation in a distressed one, where his faculties were roused into admiration and respect by contemplating the limited remnant of the earlier patents. There, any unwelcome sensations arising from domestic affairs changed naturally into pity and contempt. That was a long-ass sentence. I mean, if she's going to be this wordy... No, open mind, open heart. I'm going to have to make a dig in this down, and let's be honest. Let's see how well we do, but I'll come back to you when there's an update, but who knows? Who knows? Oh, Jane, let's be friends, come on. It's Monday afternoon. I don't know where today's gone. I've been out with my sister for the day, and we left at like 10 a.m, and she got my nerves so bad before I went. I said, you're going to buy me a book today. You're going to buy me a book to apologise for annoying me so much. And friend, she didn't. She didn't, so now we're not speaking. That's not true. We are speaking. We will always be speaking because she's my dear friend. But that was so rude. That's like my sister all day. Annoying. I have managed to read 50 pages of Persuasion by Miss Austen. I didn't know if I was going to be able to, but I have. And well, you saw my clip of me reading just the first line to you. It did not go well, but it has improved. I'm actually quite enjoying it, which I didn't think I was going to say. So we're following the Elliot family, mainly Anne, but also the Elliot family, who are living above their means, and because of this they are having to leave their nice town in Somerset, go live in Bath, and they are now renting out the house, and they rent it out to Admiral Croft and his wife, and his wife is the sister of Frederick Wentworth, who Anne called her for engagement with. So that's basically where we're at. It the beginning is a bit of a slog. I'm not gonna lie. It's very much talking about the family tree and blah blah blah, and I was interested. I think for me, where Jane Austen shines is when her characters speak, when there's dialogue. I think she really is able to get their personalities across and give them a bit of sass and make it fun, like Anne's sister Mary, who's always ill. She just makes me laugh because she's not really ill. So I think that for me is where it shines, and it makes the book feel quite jovial and fun. But obviously Anne is anytime soon going to bump into her ex-fiance, so we're going to get some drama, we're going to get some juice, we're going to get some goss. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I mean, on the back here it says it's a brilliant satire of vanity and pretension. Well, that's certainly true. All her dad talks about is what people look like. He sort of rated his daughters how they look like. He didn't want to rent his house out, and then he saw the Admiral and he's like, the Admiral, yeah, he's good looking, he's like, I'll rent it to him, he's good looking. And I'm like, what? This man is obsessed with looks. He's like, I'm good looking, my eldest daughter's good looking, the Admiral's good looking, he can have my house. And I just think, sir, he was like, I'd even go out for a drink with the Admiral if he had hair. And I think, what? Because he's wrong, okay, because bald men are hot. Someone's got to say it, and I will be the one to say it. But I don't know why, I'm just enjoying it. I really didn't think I was going to. I find it quite comforting. But mainly when there's dialogue, like I said, I can't stress how much I enjoy the dialogue. The rest of it, I think, come on Jane, get them speaking girly. But I have the whole Eden ahead of me, no plans, like usual. So let's see how much I can read, and I'll check in with you tomorrow. Oh, it's satisfying, and it's a bit like a fan because I'm quite hot. I'll speak to you tomorrow. I don't know what's going on. Good morning, friends. It is Wednesday morning, and I'm a little bit annoyed at myself, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I had the evening sort of free yesterday, and I could just read all evening. But did I do that? I did not. So I settled down at like 6 o'clock. Not like settled down, but I just started reading at 6 o'clock. And then I was also watching some Booktube videos, so I was like sort of interchanging. It was a perfect combination. And then, as you all know, my favourite thing to do is read in the bath. I went to read in the bath, and I just sat on my phone. I just sat on TikTok watching clips of Fleabag. And then I got out of the bath and thought, right, you've got to put your phone down now. Start reading a book. And instead, I just sat on TikTok watching clips of Mama June from Not to Hot. From Hot to Not, I mean. From Not to Hot. No, it is from Not to Hot. And I just think, what a waste of your evening. What an absolute waste of your evening, you fool. But I am now on page 96. And it's good. It's fine. It's good. It's fine. I don't know where in the middle. Is something in the middle of good and fine? Because I feel like that's where it is. Sometimes I think I'm really in the flow of it and I'm really enjoying it. And then I sort of think to myself, I cannot read another word of this book. But I would never stop because it's not that bad. I'm just dramatic. Have you ever noticed by now that, I tend to be a bit dramatic? So her dad and sister, Elizabeth and Mr. Elliot, they have gone to Bath. She has stayed behind. She is staying with her sister Mary, and who else she's staying with? Lady Russell, which was her dead mum's best friend. And actually, last clip I put up here was I was expecting the drama, the goss, the juice when she first saw Mr. Frederick Wentworth again. There was no drama. They just sort of had dinner at a dinner party, and he was like, oh, I need to set your seat. That was it. I said, Jane, you're not giving it to me. Jane, are you watching? Too bad. But I wanted the drama. And she is still very much sort of can't be around him. She doesn't want to be around him. She sort of feels bad for what she's done. I think she really wants him back. I don't think it was her choice to call it off. But now everyone's talking about what a good match he is. So I don't, maybe because he's an Admiral now. But there are two girls in this, Louisa and Henrietta, who are her sister's in-laws' children, so her sister-in-laws. And she they are both vying for his attention, and everyone is now talking about which one he's going to choose. And it's bringing Anne down. It is bringing Anne down. See, stuff like that I enjoy. But then they all went with Captain I'm going to call it Captain Wentworth to visit his friend. And they all went. And old Miss Dawson, she just spent so long describing what they did. That's when I don't want it. Like, you know, they went for a walk and, you know, blah, 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 and then they went to the cob. I don't know what a cob is, but they were there for a damn long time. And it's just not... That's when, for me, I just think, please don't make me read this anymore. But then they start having conversations, or they start, you know, just anything to do with the people I like. But I think when she sort of describes what they're doing or the scenery, I drift out a bit. I can't help it. I wish it wasn't true, but it is. And also, can I just say, so Anne's brother-in-law is called Charles. Their son is called Charles. And there is another man who is sort of, whichever one Captain Wentworth doesn't choose, he's going to have the girl. And his name is Charles. That is too many Charleses. I can't keep up. I think, who's talking? Why is little Charles talking about owning 20 acres of land? Of course he doesn't. He's a child. So, Jane, just choose different names. I'm sorry. Okay. But I know I'm having a go at this book quite a lot, but I am quite enjoying it. Just when I open it and I see that, all those little words, I think, I can't read that. Maybe that's a bit of the problem, but I think it's hidden that, you know, Louisa is going to be the one that Frederick chooses, but I'm feeling he's going to end up with Anne. Imagine if he doesn't. He also said, like, he doesn't even recognise Anne anymore. Like, you know, she's changed so much in the 8 years. Which I think we would change, but everyone just makes me feel like Anne is a bit ugly, which is a horrible thing to say. But I just feel like everyone's sort of bashing looks in this book. But who knows? I'm sure I'll get more read this evening. I've got to go to work now, obvs. But I'm sure I'll get more read this evening. I've got to get read by Friday because I'm going out Friday night. I'm going to see The Sound of Music live on stage. Ugh, I'm so excited. My friend got me tickets for my birthday, and it's coming up. It's on Friday, so you know what they say: the hills are alive. The hills are alive with The Sound of Music. So maybe I'm going to squeeze in like 5 minutes before I go to work right now. Shall I? Okay, I will, because I've just ranted on about it. So let's see if I can actually start enjoying it again. Good morning, friends. It's Wednesday, and I can't believe you're making me read this. Now, in all seriousness, as you've seen, I've hit volume 2, and quite a bit has happened, actually. So, when we left off, there were 2 girls vying for his attention. It became very clear that it was going to be Louisa. And then they were on a walk, and she fell off the cob. Still have no idea what a cob is, but she fell off it. And she nearly died. And while she was being nursed back to health, they left. Like Anne and Captain whatever, they went back to where they were from. And I will say, while they were there, Anne was walking along the street and she saw a handsome man. And the handsome man went to her, hey. And then she went to him, hey. And I thought, Anne, well done, mate. You pulled. Her cousin. Turned out to be her cousin. I thought, Jane, you're really messing with Anne here, aren't you? You're like Anne. Twist the knife in. But like I said, they've all gone back home, and now Anne has gone to Bath to join her father and her sister. Oh, by the way, it turns out the cousin is also in Bath, and everyone still wants them to get married. So apparently in 1818 you can just marry your cousin. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. But that's sort of it. And that's not it. That was such a lie. Louisa is now back home, and she is now engaged to the man they went to visit. She has not gone for Captain Wentworth at all. So Captain Wentworth is free, single, ready to mingle. So that means I can only assume he's going to get with Anne, but Anne's head is being a bit turned by her cousin. She's saying she doesn't quite know her cousin, but what she does know, she likes. And that is it. That really is it. And it was a bit of a slog, this section, I'm not going to lie. It was an absolute bit of a slog. It's just... And sort of Mary's gone. I think Mary's my favourite. She wrote a letter talking about herself, which I really enjoyed. But other than that, it's just been a bit of a slog. I just think... I don't care. I don't care if Anne's happy in Bath. I don't care. Also, I've spoke about this a little before, but where it is a satire on vanity, it's all coming from one man. It all comes from her father. They all talk about class and their station in life and money. They all talk about that, whether, you know, they're too good for someone or whether they're not good enough for someone. But when it comes to vanity, it is all from her father. And for me, it doesn't... That just takes away the satire. It just makes it seem a bit foolish. It seems too heavy-handed coming from one person. If there was a bit more glimpse of it throughout the society, I would get it. But it's all from one person. Like, he thinks, like, Anne's cousin. So what would that be? His nephew is good looking. So he's like, yeah, you can go for Anne. He says he walked past 58 women in Bath and they were all plain looking. Not one gorgeous woman, not one beautiful woman. And he asks about Mary, and he doesn't ask how she is. He's like, how does she look? Last time I saw her, she had a red nose. And I just think, sod off. Sod off, mate. Just because you think you're... What? Do you know what annoys me? Hold on, let me get my soapbox. Even in these times, conventional beauty is still reigns supreme. Like, I feel like every period of time has people that fit conventional beauty and they're the standard. Like, it happens now. And I just have to say, I say this with every core of my being, I just think conventional beauty is boring. I'm sorry, like, for me, there is no more attractive man than, like, a plain, average-looking man. I just think you're just it. Like, just be a bit flawed, be a bit human, be a bit, you know, quirky. Just, I think perfection and looking the same as everyone else is so boring. Oh, honestly, I would turn down a good-looking man and, like, you know, well, who's perceived as good-looking, like, sort of, you know, the standard, the what everyone wants. And I would just, you know, just give me an average man. Because I don't think average men are average. I think they're damn hot. So, it just winds me up, this book. And I think it's supposed to wind you up. It's obviously supposed to be a look on vanity, but... So that is what Jane's getting it right in that sense. Jane, are you watching? She's getting it right in that sense. But where it all comes from one person, it absolutely doesn't. It doesn't work for me. It just makes the character feel a bit of a farce. But... What page am I on? 162, and there's 136. I've got to get this done tonight, because if I don't think I'll ever pick up another book again in my life. But no, we'll get there. I just want to see her get with Captain Wentworth. I don't want her to marry the cousin. I'll tell you that now. I do not want her to marry the cousin. If she marries the cousin, we burn books at dawn. It's Thursday morning. I didn't finish it. Like I said I would. So I quit. I quit Booktube. I quit Bookstagram. I quit reading. Goodbye. It was nice knowing you all. I'm just joking. Were you sad? Were you scared? Were you relieved? Hey, now come on. Come on, we're friends. But I didn't finish it. I ended up going around a friend's house last night and playing some games, which I lost terribly at. And if there's one thing you need to know about me, I'm very competitive. I like to win. And, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm a sore loser. But because I was with friends and, like, I was trying not to be a sore loser, I wasn't really a sore loser. But inside, I want to be a sore loser. I'm sorry. I know it's not a nice quality. I know it's not a nice, attractive quality. But it's where we're at. It is where we're at. But I can't believe I didn't finish it. I'm finishing it tonight because I'm going to Sound of Music tomorrow, and then I won't I finish it like next week then. So it is being done tonight. I'm chaining myself to my bed. I don't have chains by my bed. I don't know why I said that. But I literally only read like, what page am I on? 86? 186. Like, I maybe read like 20 pages yesterday. And it's all, well, as we know, Anne is in Bath now. Mr. Wentworth isn't Mr. Wentworth. Captain Wentworth, Frederick. He is now in Bath too. And she's still sort of having her head swayed by Mr. Elliot, her cousin. But he sort of said something that's really put her off. Like, he sort of said that he has been known of her for years. I think he made it seem like that she was sort of the object of his desire for many years. And he is a widower, so... But she had a conversation with Mr. Wentworth, which I, as a reader, thought was just a nice, polite conversation. But boy, it sent Anne's heart a-fluttering. Let me tell you, the next page she's like, he's the one, I want him. But then Mr. Wentworth saw Anne talking to Miss Elliot. Now he's gone off jealous. And now Anne is visiting her old nanny. And I think this nanny's about to reveal something. She has known Mr. Elliot for years. And literally, when I fell asleep, she was like, I'm sorry, I've got to tell you this. So I don't know what it is. I actually don't know what it is. But I think she's going to reveal something. And then, surely, the next 40 pages are just Anne and Mr. Wentworth getting together. I call him something different every time. I have realised this. And yeah, I have a hat on today because I'm having a bad hair day. I'm going to tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be a bad hair day. It's going to be a bad work day. Be finishing this bad book day. Bad day. But, that's it, really. I wish I could come and tell you here that I won all the games last night, but tragic losses, friends. But that's all I've got to update on, really, because 20 pages. Oh, you say more than that. I'm going to finish this tonight. But I just want to finish it. So we'll finish it, and then I'm going to wrap it up tomorrow. And then my treat for finishing it is going to see the same music. But that's it. That's it, friends. I'm going to speak to you all probably tomorrow. And if I don't finish this tonight, then I really will quit everything. Okay? Hold me to that. But don't. I finished it. I didn't think I was going to finish it. I finished it. After 3, let's have a dance party. 1, 2, 3. So I finally got it finished, as you just saw, by my dance party. And let's kick off where we left off, shall we? Mrs. Smith, Anne's old nanny, basically did say about Mr. Elliot being not who he says he is, a bit dodge-based. Dodge-based, who am I? And Anne was sort of like, yeah, I'm not really into him. I'm into Captain Wentworth. And then she has this really interesting conversation with someone about loving in society and loving between genders and how different love is between men and women. It was really, really interesting. And while she's doing this, Captain Wentworth is near her writing a letter. And he writes the letter to her declaring his love. And then, spoiler, they end up together. That's basically it. Jane, are you watching? You gave me the drama. You gave me what I needed with the letter. I was going to give this maybe a 2.5, and that letter bumped it up. It is now a 3.5. The letter made me stop. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read some of it to you because it was just so... It was so good. It was so good. This is the letter that Anne found from Captain Wentworth. I can no longer listen in silence. I must speak to you by such means as are within my reach. You pierce my soul. That was it. That was when I started to cry. I am half agony, half hope. Tell me not that I am too late, that such precious feelings are gone forever. I offer myself to you again with a heart even more your own than when you almost broke it 8.5 years ago. Dare not say that man forgets sooner than woman, that his love has an earlier death. I have loved none but you. Unjust I have been, weak and resentful I have been, but never inconsistent. You alone have brought me to Bath. For you alone I think and plan. Have you not seen this? Can you fail to have understood my wishes? Had I not waited even these 10 days, could I have not read your feelings, as I think you have penetrated mine? Oh, Frederick, write me a letter like that. Actually, anyway. It was so good. So I bumped up like a whole star because I didn't... just so invested. So invested. But I'm glad I finished it. I can't really believe you all made me read it. But I think it starts off strong, this novel. I think it takes a massive dip in the middle and then ends well. I think when Jane writes characters is when she shines, and especially their dialogue. Like Mary in this was just sort of very sort of self-centered and sort of a bit in a funny way. And I think that's when Jane Austen, for me, really absolutely shines. Other times, like when she sort of describes what they do and nap time, that's what that is. But, you know, when the action, well, not action, but when, you know, the plot's moving along and just the characters, I think Jane Austen writes characters and their dialogue extremely, extremely well. You can really get a sense of each character. But am I glad to have finished this? Am I absolutely glad? And I said yesterday was going to be a bad day. The only highlight of the day was that I finished this book. I made a batch of scones. Rubbish, had to put them in the bin. Second batch, rubbish, had to put them back. Third time, well, third time's a charm, but I've never ever done that before. I was like, this is not good for business. This is not good for my soul. So I told you it was going to be a bad day. But at least I finished this. Now my treat tonight is I'm going to watch The Sound of Music. The hills are alive with the sound of music. I can't sing. I'm so sorry, Julie Andrews. By the way, when Julie Andrews dies, you won't see me for a while. I shall be in deep, deep mourning. But thank you all so much for voting for this. I appreciate it. I'm glad I've read it. You know, you make me into a classic, this boy. Du Maurier, Austen, what's next? Check out the video Monday. Check out Monday, because that is when you're going to vote for a very special vlog. So, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, because won't it be fun if you hit that bell and I just pop up like this? I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon. It's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Jane. It's goodbye from this man on the cover.